Welcome one and all, I'm Decoy. And I noticed last week when I made my taming video that quite a few people commented and said that they wanted robots. They didn't want animals. Now while that's not currently an option, I do have a kind of half workaround for you. It will require that you move to White Spring though for you to get to enjoy robots. Now, there are several locations around White Spring where robots will naturally spawn and you can build your camp there as well. Which is really cool because if feral ghouls show up, or super mutants, whatever it may be, they're going to attack them. And that's free defenses at your camp, and that's pretty cool. Now there is a couple downsides to this. One, if you make the White Spring robots angry and they become hostile towards you, these will be hostile towards you as well because they are White Spring robots. So if that's the case, it's either best to stay away from your camp, server hop, or kill the robots. I don't suggest the last one because more of them may just keep showing up. The second downside is that when they get in combat with, say, a super mutant, if part of your structure is between them and the super mutant that they're shooting at, they can damage your structures. So I would suggest building your house on stilts, keeping it up in the air, and out of their line of fire. As for this second location, it might not look like there's a whole lot going on here. You only see 3 robots. But really, any free robot is a good robot. Another thing I should note is that it's not a guarantee that it will always be the same robots. I have seen my construction bots get replaced by Assaultrons or Mr. Handys. You never know. You might get a free upgrade. Now, of course, this location did have a couple bags of cement and a toolbox and some other scrappable items. Not a whole lot, but at least it's something. The previous location only had a wooden box that you could search. Or at least that's all I've ever noticed. Now let's hop to the other side of White Spring, to a security gate, which features several robots, including a dead one. Mostly just because he didn't survive the attack here. So disappointing. But to be fair, he was up against quite a worthy adversary. High-level super mutants rocking miniguns. I don't think he stood a chance, but the rest of the robots definitely duked it out and kicked their butt, which I'm really proud of them. Now, if you go in to the security checkpoint here, you're going to find a decent amount of scrappable items, which is always nice. And also, remember to close the door, because there's additional loot hidden there on the floor. And had I not closed that door, I never would have known it was there. Of course, you do get that lunchbox, and any free food or water is always a welcomed item. Now that Assaultron, I think, was originally hanging out up here at the gate. I'm not sure what it's doing just roaming around back there. And look at this. Poor robot. Just couldn't survive. Darn Protectron. Oh well. Now if you want this location, you'll find it right here. It's kind of upright of the snake. Fairly solid. Now this next location is going to take you a little bit further south to a spot that almost mirrors the location where my camp was at. You're going to have a decent variety of robots that patrol this area, and you also get the bulldozer, which I really liked just because when I built my house, I was able to make it look like the bulldozer was helping to support my house, which I thought was pretty cool. Now, aside from the robots that spawn here, there's not really much going on. When I walked around the area, I didn't see any loot. I mean, maybe some spawns here and another player just happened to pass through and loot it before I got here. This does put you right beside the snake emblem on the map, but I think the next location is the one a lot of you are going to enjoy. Now we're back to another security checkpoint. This one does have a fairly big downside though. That downside being that it's close to a fisher site, so that definitely sucks. But you do have robots here to help defend your camp. But the thing that may actually make you want to move here is inside the security booth. Because in here in the desk is a cap stash, along with several caps. So at least if you do end up moving here, you have a fairly decent reason to take this spot. but it is risky. Now there's not nearly as much junk here as the other security booth, but you did have that floor safe, and the cap stash really does make a little bit of a difference. Now, again, you gotta worry about that Scorch Beast, so if it comes to knocking, I hope you're rocking some heavy artillery or something to deal with that issue. Now that's all the locations I have. There may be a few more out there, but these were the ones that stood out to me. I hope you've enjoyed this, and please remember to like, sub, and share. Later.